Welcome to module 7. So in module 7 we'll be discussing currency pairs. Remember that I told you that what forex traders do, we are buying and selling currencies, we are trading currencies. So we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the currencies. Now there are 3 categories of currency pairs. We have the odogus, which is the major currency pairs. We have the cross currency pairs, which are also known as the minors, and then we have the exotic currency pairs, exotic as the name implies. So the major currency pairs, how we know them is that they always have USD within the pair. So USD is always going to be within the pair. And the cross currency or the minors, they don't have the USD within the pair. The exotic currency pairs are made of one major currency and one currency from an emerging market. Don't worry, you understand it very soon. Now the currency pairs listed here are the major currency pairs. Remember I told you the major ones always have USD within the pair. So we have Euro, USD, GBP, USD, USD, JPY, USD, CHF, USD this, USD that, NZD, USD, and so on and so forth. So all of them contain the USD and they are the most frequently traded, which means they are the most liquid. By liquid we mean the activity, the amount of traders who trade these pairs, especially Euro USD. Euro USD is one of the most traded, it's the most traded currency pair actually. It's the most popular, so you can see it as that. So these major currency pairs are the ones that are mostly traded. The next ones are the cross currency pair. Remember I told you that they don't have USD within the pair. So we have Euro CHF, Euro GBP, GBP JPY, CAD JPY, AED CAD NZD CHF, GBP NZD. All of these are different currencies, but none of them have the USD within them. That is why they are called the minor or the cross pairs. They have some level of liquidity, but then they are not as liquid as the major pairs. They are not as often traded as the major pairs. Then the last but not the least is the exotic pairs. The exotic pairs, remember I told you, is one major currency pair and one currency from an emerging market. By emerging markets we mean like developing countries such as South Africa, Mexico, Singapore, Russia. So all of these different countries, Chile, their currencies merged with a major currency is an exotic pair. We have examples such as USD ZAR. USD ZAR is USD versus the South African rand. We have USD MXN, that is Mexican peso versus USD, SGD, Singapore dollar, etc., etc. So this pair, they have lower liquidity. That is, not a lot of people trade them. They are not very frequently traded, but they have high volatility, which means that when you trade such pairs like this, they can easily make you a lot of money because their volatility is quite high. This is a picture representing the different pairs. You can go through them to familiarize yourself with these different pairs. Now this is the application. This picture you're seeing here is a screenshot from the application that forex traders use in trading. It is called MetaTrader 4. When you open that application, this is what the interface looks like. You will see all the different currency pairs listed there. Now if you look at them, you see that they are listed in pair. They are listed in twos. None of them is standing singly. You're not seeing USD standing alone or Euro standing alone. You are seeing Euro USD, GBP USD. They are listed together. That is because we don't trade them as a single currency. We trade them in pairs. We trade them against each other. So that is how you will see them. Now, the first currency within the pair is what is called the base currency, while the second one is called the quote currency. Now, the base currency is believed to be of higher value than the quote currency, which means Euro USD. Euro is first because Euro is a stronger currency than USD. Euro has more value than the US dollars. GBP USD, you can see, obviously you know that pounds is more valuable than US dollar. Pounds have more value than US dollar. So that is the logic behind the arrangement. So the stronger one comes first, the weaker one comes second, except with few currency pairs. There are a few of them that are an exception, and you'll see them very soon. If you also look beside them, you will notice that there's a number written there. Like now, Euro USD, as you can see, I pointed at it with the white arrow. You see a number 1.1283. What that number basically represents is how much US dollar you will need to get 1 euro. So it's basically how much of the quote currency you need to get 1 unit of the base currency. Let me give you a simple illustration to understand this. Now, Naira to dollar is about 1,500, which means if you want to get $1, if you want to obtain $1, you're going to pay 1,500 Naira before you can obtain $1, which means the dollar is obviously of a higher value than the naira. That is exactly what is represented here. Euro USD 1.283 means that for you to get 1 euro, you're going to pay $1.283. 1.283 is obviously more than 1, which shows that euro has a stronger value than the dollars. If you want to get 1 euro, you have to pay $1.283. So that is what these numbers represent. Now, the few exceptions that we have that does not follow that normal arrangement is AUD USD, NZD USD, Euro GBP. Now, one thing that you would notice about these pairs that doesn't follow that arrangement of base currency being the stronger and quote being the weaker one thing you notice about them is that the number beside them usually starts from a 0. You see 0 points, like AUD USD, for instance. If you look at it, the number there is 0.6349. That is because the arrangement is not following the base and quote stronger and weaker arrangement. So that's one thing that you always notice about them. But these things do not really matter. You don't need to be bothered about them because it doesn't really affect your trading. You still make your money regardless. It's just for the sake of knowledge so that you know them. There's no knowledge that it is a waste. At least if you are talking with forex traders and they are talking about these things, you will not be lost. You know what they are talking, and you can even be able to make contributions to show that you are knowledgeable in this. So that brings us to the end of module 6. I'll see you in the next module.